Yo, what is up guys, it's Lian, and today I'll be showing my free optimization pack. So let me quickly grab it, I'll click copy, I'll paste it here. So, let me just drag this here. So, what you want to do is once you've downloaded the free optimization pack, you want to click extract to, and then SHA-Tweaks free optimization pack using 7-zip. So you want to extract this with either WinRAR, 7-zip, or this normal Windows installation tool. You can use any of them. WinRAR will be fine though, so if you just click extract to SHA-Tweaks free optimization pack, it'll create a folder. And then when you open this folder, they will have 7 folders. So from 0 to 6, you want to start with 0 and then go all the way down. So from the start, you want to de-bloat Windows. But to do this, you want to press run as administrator. I'll open my Twitter, but I'm just gonna skip that. It'll say, well, this is not reversible. Are you sure you want to continue? I'm gonna press Y for yes or N for no. Because I've already applied this, I don't need to apply this. I'm just gonna close the program. And for the same thing for the next one, it'll also open my Twitter. I'm gonna close that, or you can just follow as well. But I'm just gonna close it just for the sake of time. It's gonna say it's not reversible. Are you sure you want to continue? Same thing. Y for yes, N for no. And then it's also the same for the Windows, like disabling Windows updates. And then what you want to do after you disable Windows updates, double click this, yes, and then OK. I'm not going to do this because I've already got this applied. Then you want to run this as administrator, and then you want to click disable Windows Defender. Just because I'm in a custom OS, my Defender service is not there because it's stripped. But for you, Windows Defender will be enabled. So you want to do is disable Windows Defender, and then that will just remove Defender for you. So when you're downloading programs and apps, you're going to be able to download properly. But be aware, you can still, like, it won't have protection against viruses and stuff. That's why I recommend using adware cleaner and malwarebytes to regularly scan your PC, and just be a smart person and don't download viruses. If you're like a smart individual, you will not download viruses. But that's just a warning. But yeah. Another thing this does is because you're removing Defender updates and de-bloating and you're disabling some services, when you launch your PC you have less processes in the background that's running, so they have more resources for your CPU, so your CPU utilization will be lower and your RAM utilization will be lower, so you'll have lower memory and CPU utilization. So when you play games you have higher performance. And then you want to disable some startup apps. So for me, I just choose which one I have, like, that I need. So like Steam, Vanguard, I don't need this to open when I play, so I don't need this. And then uninstall bloatware. You can uninstall the bloatware like you have on your PC. So like majority of stuff you won't be able to remove, but because of my de-bloater, majority of stuff will be removed. So you just want to have just a normal Windows, so like DirectX, your browser, drivers, so like NVIDIA drivers, Afterburner and stuff like that. You just want to have those stuff, so you don't want any of the Microsoft's like programs. So let's say there is some stuff that you can still remove that is not necessary, just uninstall them. Registry tweaks, here are some Fortnite tweaks. So once you've downloaded Fortnite, or if you already have Fortnite downloaded, you want to set this to Fortnite high priority, so you want to run this, double click on it, yes, okay. Same thing for full screen exclusive. If you're having worse FPS on high priority, you can go back to normal priority. But for majority of majority of cases, you probably have better performance on high priority. So just stick with high priority. So skip normal priority unless your performance is worsened by high priority. And then you want to run this. You want to copy this. So select all, copy, minimize, open Epic Games Launcher. So it's going to open. Then you want to click on your profile. So it'll say your name at the top, I believe, so like where my cursor is. So I'm going to wait for this to open. There we go, W, and then settings, scroll all the way down. Have everything off apart from minimize the system tray. You can turn these on if you want, because obviously it's free games, but preferably I don't do that. And then you want to click additional command line arguments and then paste it there. Press enter and then go back, and then yeah. So after doing that, you've done all Fortnite tweaks. Windows 32 priority separation. I recommend using 26 or 28, so 26 or 28, or this one. So these two values, you can test these two values or these two values, 26 or 28. I recommend 26 because for most PCs it will just work flawlessly. It's for most PCs, like 26 will be the safest value, so just use 26. So some more issue tweaks, so you want to double click, run yes okay, same thing. So you can disable game DVR and game bar, power throttling, game priority optimizations, memory management optimizations, mouse and keyboard optimizations, and network optimizations. Windows settings, you can want to go to here, make sure this is not 100% scaling. Let me close that. Mouse acceleration, if I can click on it, make sure this is unchecked, so it's enhanced pointer precision off. MS config, I don't have it on my PC, but what you want to do is go to advanced, you want to go to boot advanced, and then make sure it's running so it's on the highest amount of cores that your PC can use. So you want to use the highest amount of cores that you can use. If you have hyper-threading disabled, it will show up as, let's say like I have an 8-core CPU, it will just show up as 8 threads. But if you don't have hyper-threading enabled, let's say if an 8-core CPU will say 16 cores or 16 threads. Performance options, you want to click adjust for best performance, or you can click custom and click show thumbnails of icons and smooth edges of screen fonts. Stop apps, same thing as earlier. Sound settings, you want to just disable all sound settings you do not use. Make sure you're disabling the right ones, because if you disable them you won't be able to hear. So you want to make sure you disable the ones you absolutely do not use, especially if you're on controller. So let's say if you're a controller player, you want to plug it in and then just make sure your controller output and input is disabled. So your speakers and your microphone are both disabled, just because if you're trying to, let's say you're trying to call in Discord or you're trying to play in game and then you plug in your controller, your audio output will automatically switch to controller. I don't know why, but it just is. I don't know why that's the default, but it just is. So if you want to use your controller, make sure your audio outputs are just disabled. Background apps, self-explanatory, put them disabled. Turn off stick scaling. Transparency effects, you want to have this disabled. I recommend dark theme, which looks a lot cleaner. Xbox game bar, want to have this disabled, and you want to go to game mode and have this disabled as well. A majority of PCs, especially low-end PCs, they had more performance when game mode was disabled than enabled. That's why I recommend game mode disabled. Power tweaks, what you want to do is run this issue tweak, restart your PC, then double click on the power plan, go to power options, and then you can enable the power plan. Right now I don't really need the power plan, so I'm going to delete it, but for you, you want to enable it, click on change plan settings, and then set both of these to never. If you're on a laptop, you want to set all of them to never, so never, 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 never. And then if you're on a laptop, also make sure your make sure your cable is always plugged in, and then you want to run this commands. You want to set on or off. Off if you want to have the lowest latency, but your CPU will be running 100% of the time, and you'll have higher temperatures. So for most PCs, like 99.99% of PCs, you just want to have this on, just because if you have it off and you have high temperatures already, this will increase your temperatures even worse, and that can decrease performance even if you have lower latency. So I recommend having idle enabled, so just type it on. NVIDIA tweaks, you can install custom drivers, so you want to use DDU to uninstall your current NVIDIA driver, and then you want to use NVIDIA Clean Install to install a good driver. So you want to use 47.2.12 or 457.30. So you want to open this, copy these settings in installation tweaks. If it asks you what parts of the NVIDIA driver you want to keep, just click next. So when you install this, when you choose your driver, it's going to ask you the components that you want to keep, just press next. You don't want to keep any of the components, you only want to have the standard driver. So no bloatware will install, so no bloatware for your NVIDIA driver will install, so you just want to have click next. You want to click on these options. You make sure you have to click on the last one, just because if you play Fortnite or a game that has easy anti-cheat, you will not be able to play, and you'll have some bugs and some other stuff. And if it asks you, do you want to install this driver when you're in installation, like during installation when you're trying to install the driver, make sure you click yes, I want to install this driver. So yeah, that's how you install a custom NVIDIA driver. You can also install a custom AMD driver with like an tool called Radeon Slimmer, I believe. But this one, I will not put this in this pack just because of simplicity, and this is really easy to do. MSI mode utility, you want to click run as administrator, then you want to go full screen, then make sure your GPU is set to high. Press apply, refresh, set to high. So if I reopen this program, I'll say my GPU set to high, enter priority, so that's good. NVIDIA Profile Inspector, you want to run this as administrator. Then you want to click import profile, Fortnite.nip, and then you can import the profile. And then you just want to press apply changes, and then there you go, you have your NVIDIA profile like imported. So this is a profile I've made, and then if you use this, you'll have like a boost in performance. So you'll have like a pretty massive boost in performance after doing this. You want to do this, so this is like a key feature if you're on an NVIDIA GPU, so you want to do this. You want to click on this link to install MSI Afterburner. I'm not going to install it because I'm not going to click on the link because I already have it installed. But I have clicked on it, but I've automatically closed it. But yeah, you want to click on it, and then you'll install MSI Afterburner for you, which you can use to overclock your GPU and set up fan curves and like fan speed and some voltage control and regulation. So you can do that. And high silk smoothness is another setting you can have in video control panel. In my testing, this hasn't really done that much to performance, like pretty much non-measurable. So you want to make sure, if you want the best performance, to enable this. Just if you're on like a low-end system, but for majority of systems you will not notice a difference. But if you want to test this out, you can just run as administrator, open this, and then go to video control panel, and then set silk smoothness to off. Then cleanup, you want to run these administrator and use this cleanup, press OK, and then this will just delete some stuff like some unnecessary files and like packages and cache that you don't need. You just press OK, and this will just remove all those files that you don't need. So after doing this, you might notice you might have a lot of storage freed up, or you might have a little bit of storage freed up. But if you have a bloated Windows, in the majority of scenarios, you will notice you have a lot more storage than you did before. And then after applying all those tweaks, you want to restart your PC. You want to go here, restart. If you don't have this menu, it's just because I have a custom OpenShell skin that I have. But you just want to restart your PC, and then all the tweaks will be applied. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and peace.